Warning, the following video will contain spoilers from the Flash episode, The Flash of Two Worlds. So spoiler alert. If you do not want anything spoiled or ruined for you, stop watching now. Hey guys, Dave here. And man, I gotta tell you, I was excited for this episode, but before I start getting into the review, I wanted to tell you about an idea I came up with. A few years ago on Smallville, the producers from the WB or CW asked people to make videos to send to what they thought about the Red and Blue Blur, or just the Blur. This is the character that Clark was before he became Superman. They actually used it in an episode, for little snippets from YouTube videos. And that got me thinking, and since I love The Flash so much, and since something is revealed that, portals may be actually opening up cracks into 52 cracks into other realities, I thought it would be fun to start making my own series of character message videos that I'm going to try talking to the characters on The Flash. Kind of like a little message in a bottle kind of thing. Now don't worry, yes, I know that the characters are fictional. I know they are not real. They are portrayed by actors and actresses. But if you had the chance to speak to the character and not the actor or actress, what would you say? So I'm going to start doing my own, so keep an eye on this channel here. I'm going to record one coming up soon for Cisco Ramon, played by the wonderful Carlos Valdez. So keep an eye on that, and heck, I think it might be an interesting little touch to try to put out there to show just how much we love the characters, not just the actors and actresses portraying them. So I'm going to try doing that. I encourage you to have fun with it too, so I hope you enjoy. Anyway, oh my god. So the episode picks up right where episode 1 left off. Jay's explaining that he comes from another Earth and that he was fighting Zoom. There, of course, Barry is suspicious as hell about this. Jay informs him that when the Singularity opened up, he was fighting Zoom, and he somehow came through, but he lost his powers. So he has all this knowledge, and he wants to help, but there's no real proof there. I mean, Caitlin does some tests on him. They says that there's apparently some kind of thing in there for heightened healing, but no trace of the Speed Force. So what's going on there? Not really sure, and Barry is suspicious as hell. But we do get to see a wonderful flashback, as it were, for Jay fighting and following Zoom in Earth 2. Oh my god, it was amazing. You know how Gotham City has like this retro style of it? When we take peeks at Earth 2, it looks retro-futuristic in that way. I mean, it looks like Gotham, only cleaner and a nicer place to live. Oh my god, I want to see it so bad. There are other little differences we get to find in the episode later on. For example, when the particle accelerator caused, when the wormhole opened up in Central City on The Flash, it was daytime on Earth 1, but it was nighttime on Earth 2. And we get to find other little subtle hints and differences there. It is just so freaking cool. Like later on in the episode, when Jay finally gets his helmet back, he talks about how it was his father's. Originally, in the Flash, Golden Age Flash comics, his father was a soldier in World War I, and he modified that for his Mercury helmet. Well, in here, when he gets it back, he talks about how it was his father's, but he fought in the War of the Americas. What? What is this? This is something brand new. This is something I love about The Flash. I mean, it has such a rich lore of history to pull from the comics, but the writers are also doing things where they're also being able to add new stuff that even the hardcore fans have never seen before, but it fits in. This episode is going to probably have a lot of people on the fence, because another character shows up, Sand Demon, originally a Firestorm villain, but they modified him in here. And we get the whole Earth 1, Earth 2 thing here again. And he was sent to kill the Flash by Zoom. Well, while this is all going on, Patty Spivot is trying to join the Metahuman Task Force. And she's plucky, man. She's geeky, but she's also a good cop. It's really cool. I mean, a very interesting character, something to keep an eye out for. They later find out that she has a history with Mark Martin, and that the Martins actually killed her father, so she wants to stop these guys. So she's a true believer in that regard, and I really dig that. Well, while all this is going on, Jay's trying to prove himself. He gets locked in the frickin' pipeline. He's doing everything he can to try to convince Barry, but Barry's just not having it because he doesn't want to get betrayed again by someone like Harrison Wells. While this is going on, and they're starting to find out more about San Dimas, Sisko's powers start to flash, pardon the pun, and he starts getting a picture of what things that happened with him and Barry fighting. And he's really overwhelmed by this whole thing. Eventually, though, when Patty is kidnapped after Joe being assaulted, he realizes that he has to do whatever it takes to try to save him, so he tries to use this power, and he actually does come in handy to locate Patty and San Dimas, which happen to be at the Woodrue place. Now, Woodrue, Jason Woodrue, big name in D.C., the Floronic Man, if you might remember him, or Floro, as also went by. Let's see. But he also saw that the way that San Dimas works is he likes to do a distraction and then make the attack, and he saw that there was a concussion grenade that he was actually rigging up. Of course, he manages to miraculously pull this out of his ass and say this. Professor Stein's starting to suspect things, even while he's trying to figure out how to detect the energy patterns from the wormhole so they can close it down. Well, eventually we do get to see the Flashes come together and do their thing. Even though Jay doesn't have his powers, he actually has been training Barry with to try to stop San Dimas in an interesting way. And this is another thing I was getting at about the something old and something new. And this is where trying to teach Barry to throw lightning. I don't immediately recall throwing lightning as one of the Flash's powers, but I'm going to lay a little knowledge on you. Flash fact. When the Flash runs, his body and most things that are skin tight on him are protected by an aura, like a natural energy field that the body produces. This actually protects most things on him, but from the friction, but that's why people he's holding and other things that might extend past it or might catch on fire when he's running. That's why he needs the heat-proof suit. Well, that aura, it's later found out that even at higher velocities, it actually takes that friction from the air and is used to generate even more speed. Well, to generate the lightning and to hurl it, basically he's building things up by running in a circle and taking that energy and throwing it off. I've never really seen that happen in the comics before, but in theory, it could happen, and here's how. Later on, Barry and Wally do discover more about the aspects of the Speed Force and how to manipulate it for kinetic motion. Now, I'm thinking that what happens is when Barry runs, the aura actually does break down the molecules in the air, and not only moving them around him, but actually may rip the electrons off of the molecules of the air as it's going around him. So when it's creating the friction, it's actually ripping the electrons off and discharging it behind him. That's where we get the lightning. So technically, when he was running in a circle and then learns how to direct it, it may actually become the beginning of being able to actually generate or absorb speed from other beings. So, in theory, yeah, it could work as a Flash power, so why the heck not? We also find out that Jay's been active for about 2 years now. So he's definitely, he's been active at least a year longer than Barry, and they're staying very true to the Golden Age story about how it was a lab accident. But there's other little mysteries here. How Zoom seemed to pop up around the same time that, he got his powers. All this stuff is going on here on the same time. There's a lot of parallels. It makes people kind of worried. Eventually, though, Barry does manage to master this particular aspect of speed, thanks to Jay helping out, even though he doesn't have any powers. And we even get to see a recreation of the Flash of Two Worlds cover. And that was awesome. It was a beautiful moment caught on film. Very cool. Very much digging it. And Patty ends up joining the Anti-Metahuman Task Force. Professor Stein's trying to talk with Sisko about the vibes he's getting. Literally, he calls them the vibes. And how, Professor Stein's all excited about him trying to explore this power to find out what it means. But Sisko is so worried to death that since these powers came from, Dr. Wells, or Reverse Flash, He is so scared to death that these things could be evil that he doesn't want to become that. That's actually part of what inspired me to want to do my character message to Sisko video that I'm going to be doing up here later today, so keep an eye out for that. So he's keeping it a secret, trying to figure this stuff out. And while this is going on, they ended up revealing that by tracing exotic matter and transdimensional energy, they actually managed to find traces of these portals, but there's actually 52 of them. And this is when poor Professor Stein starts to have some kind of weird convulsion and falls on the floor. And then the epilogue goes to Earth 2. It looks absolutely gorgeous. I mean, the retro future style. We see an active train, thing going on as a monorail around the city. It looks very classic, stylized World's Fair thing. We see a fully completed and beautiful Earth 2 Star Labs that was founded in 1991. We're seeing, a very retro future style of the dress and stuff like that. It looks like a beautiful world, and I want to see it so much. And then it's revealed the hero of the future, as it were, the savior of mankind, Dr. Harrison Wells, comes out of an elevator to a school tour of kids. Yeah. So, what the hell is this going to be? As soon as I saw that, I couldn't wait for the next episode. That's the great thing. This is my favorite show now, man. I mean, I love Doctor Who, but I have not had the anticipation or interest to do, season review episodes for Doctor Who this season like I have for The Flash, man. The anticipation is awesome. The show is very well done. Kudos, guys. Love the hell out of it. Keep doing what you're doing. I cannot wait for next episode. So, it's just, it hooks you. It hooks you. I'm loving this, guys. All right, so, what do you guys think of my review here? Please like, comment, subscribe, share. Let me know also what you think about my character message videos I'm going to be doing here. Okay, well, until next time, guys, Dave signing off. Peace. Yum, yum.